Welcome to the Hawley Area Community Show. I'm your host, Jody, and I'm here at Reach in Hawley, Minnesota, and I'm here with two gentlemen from Clay County Social Services. We have Juan Martinez and Jason Rona. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you, Jody.
Now, the two of you are child support officers, correct?
Yes.
And so exactly what does that mean?
Well, we're child support officers who work for Clay County Social Services. We help establish, modify, and enforce child support orders.
And how many years have you worked there?
I think 12, 13 years now.
And how about you?
I'll be at the county 20 this month.
Wow, well, congratulations. Now, we're getting together because we have Father's Day coming up. We talked about this last year. We kind of want to talk about fathers in the lives of children. And I understand that you're a part of something called a Father Leadership Circle. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, the Father Leadership Circle is a statewide initiative. Actually, it's a nationwide initiative, but we're part of the statewide. Minnesota Fathers and Families Network is the state organization, and they have these circles throughout the state of Minnesota. We joined last year before. There was one being done here in Clay County. There was one in Chisago County, one in Park Rapids, and I think there was one in southern Minnesota someplace. But there's others, and the purpose or the goal of these circles is to bring about awareness of the importance of fathers in the lives of children.
Wonderful. And so these are professionals from different entities in Clay County who get together, correct? And so, what are sort of some of the events and things that you've done in the leadership circle?
Well, we've had various trainings for professionals that work with families. Also, an event we have coming up next weekend, June, I think 8th and 9th, we're helping promote Take a Child Fishing. We're handing out some bobbers and stuff like that at the different businesses around there.
And is there do they get a license, or how does that work? Do they have a fishing license?
I think for the when you take child fishing, you don't have to have a license.
I see. Okay, wonderful. And I know that was promoted last year too, so we want to tell people about that. That is, you said June 8th?
I think it's June 8th and 9th.
Okay, wonderful. And so that's an event, but is this sort of a group that's just sort of a think tank on how to make, I don't know, agencies more aware? Or?
Well, yeah, one of our goals is to promote different organizations, like the organization we belong to, Clay County Child Support, to promote awareness of fathers and how important they are, and that we also serve fathers, not just mothers and children, and how important fathers are in a child's well-being.
You know, when this topic first came up about a year ago, our social worker brought it to our attention at Reach that some of our promotional materials weren't really father-friendly, and it was something that we actually had never thought of. So I really appreciated the group bringing that to our attention.
Well, I think that's one of the things that we learned in going to these trainings is just get the perspective of I don't think we ever even thought of having a father-friendly office. I don't think that was even in our mindset. But when you go into an office, it goes to what kind of pictures of fathers do you have? Is it all different things? So the training was interesting to us as agency people to get our places more father-friendly and more welcoming to fathers as they come into our offices.
Yeah, and I think until you're in that situation as a father, you don't really realize it. And me as a female and as the leader of this organization, I hadn't ever thought of it. So I really appreciate the efforts that your group has taken on this issue. We're going to take a little break and talk about just why fathers are so very important in children's lives. So we'll be right back. And welcome back. We're with Juan Martinez and Jason Rona from Clay County Social Services. They are child support officers, so I'm sure you have very interesting jobs because there are a lot of people going through child custody, correct? What is your caseload like?
I think we have just over 3,000 cases in Clay County.
Wow, amazing.
And we're one of the 87 counties in the state of Minnesota, so the statewide picture is huge.
Wasn't there $8 million in child support that went through our office last year?
Wow.
7.9, something like that.
Unbelievable.
And that's just through our office.
So I'm sure you've seen the gamut of different stories and situations, but I'm sure that there's themes as well. And I know with some of the people in my life, there are issues that come up when it comes to child custody. But we're talking about the importance of fathers, but you know, what happens when, say, a child just doesn't want to see their father? What sort of, what do you do about that, or how is that promoted?
Well, I think you don't want to put the child in the position of deciding, you know, the responsibility of deciding when they see their parent. I mean, if there's a court order that has some sort of parenting time, that's what needs to be followed.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the mother or any parent, their first goal is going to be the safety of the child. But
right.
After that, it's not necessarily, you don't want to put that burden on the child to decide that.
And that isn't what your office does is how do you get involved with people?
Well, we handle, I mean, when it comes to that sort of thing, our office, the child support office, doesn't deal with custody or visitation, with the caveat that if it is a paternity case, there is that dealt with. But other than that, we just deal with the child support, the financial aspects of you know, a divorce or unmarried parents that have children.
The enforcement of the orders. But statistically, that there is that piece that if a father's involved in his child's life, the more apt he is to provide support. And that's what we're all about, is the money flowing in from the custodial parent or the non-custodial parent to the custodial parent, to the children.
Then they're apt to be more involved. And why is it so important? I mean, it sounds obvious, but why is it so important that a father is involved?
Well, as studies, I mean, numerous research has shown that it makes a child more, self-esteem's higher, they do better in school, they do better socializing. There's all sorts of benefits with having a father involved.
Mm-hmm.
For the child and for the parent, obviously, they benefit tremendously as well.
The father does as well, and I would guess that the mother does as well, because that's a big burden to put on a mother being a single parent. Correct?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So what if a mother says that the father doesn't need to be involved? What would you?
Well, I think it's a no-brainer that it helps a child. It's obvious that any father involvement is going to be good for the child, so why wouldn't you want the father involved?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's a lot of other issues, reasons why a mother may say that, but the father leadership circle is there to say it is critical for the child, correct?
Correct. I think some research has shown that 93% of mothers think they're irreplaceable in a child's life. And only 50-some-odd% of fathers say that same thing. Isn't that amazing that fathers don't think they're that important? So
really?
We need to promote that they are. Let mothers and fathers know that.
Yeah, that is so interesting to me. What we have, Take a Kid Fishing, is there anything down the pike that the group is doing to promote these issues?
I think that's the next one on our list. That's one we're concentrating on right now. We will have some events in the future.
And this is through the Clay County Collaborative. Now, is there a website or some more information that people can get?
Well,
MinnesotaFathers.org is a statewide website. That's a wonderful website. It has a bunch of information. On our own, I think we have links to that through the Clay County website. There's also a list of places that will help with different things for fathers that the Clay County Collaborative and the Fathers Leadership Circle has put together.
But mnfathers.org is a good one. That's the Minnesota Family Fathers Network website that they have. So there's a lot of good links there.
Wonderful. I think you guys do have such a fascinating job, and you're doing such good work in the circles, so thank you so much for promoting fathers in children's lives. And happy Father's Day to you when that comes up.
Thank you.
Until next time.